should Tamra come back to the show?
No. I think that maybe like someone should send a wellness check to her house. I don't know. I mean, I don't think she's okay. So.
Welcome back to Housewives Nightcap. I'm Lauren.
I'm Emily.
And guys, we made it. It is 2021, a new year, even though not much has changed just yet. But we still have a lot of housewife drama to break down. And we're kicking things off with our next guest, Emily Simpson.
But before we do that, Lauren, I need to talk a little bit to you about a couple things. Starting with Real Houses of Potomac, Monique is out. She posted, she announced she's gone, she's not coming back, and I could not be happier. I was done with it all.
Honestly,
what about you?
I have to agree. Like, it was a lot. The binder, I love the binder. I have my binder somewhere that I just love, but you know, I think I was over it.
What do you think about Salt Lake? Because I loved it.
I loved it, but I'm a little confused about Meredith. She recently rekindled with her husband, and I'm here for it. I'm happy for them, but were there actually any marriage issues going on, or was it a storyline?
It's so true, and I'm so sus because I'm like, what's happening? Why do we not know what actually happened? And we don't even know like one thing. Like maybe someone was too focused on work. We know nothing. Affair, we know nothing.
Someone else. I mean, we even had her on a couple weeks ago and we were still very confused.
Both of us really needed room to figure things out.
I mean, I know there's a lot more going down in housewife world, but guys, we have Emily Simpson on next as our guest. And if you watched last week, and if you didn't, go watch it, we had Tamra on, and she said that Emily needs to go.
I think she's boring. I think she's boring.
We got her.
That is harsh.
She was harsh. So we brought her on, and she is going to tell us her thoughts on that and a lot more.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Okay, we are so excited to have you. As everybody knows, we always choose our drink of choice with whatever the guest chooses. Emily chose champagne. So cheers, ladies. Let's get going.
Cheers.
Drink along with us if you are 21. Okay,
Yeah,
we
no
want to start off. Yes.
I like how she adds that in. The liability clause.
We want to start off with you looking so amazing. You have lost so much weight. How have you done it?
You know, I think it's a little bit of everything, and it's actually been a journey because I work out with a trainer who I reached out to about a year ago. Her name is Paulina. And then I lost weight, and then in quarantine, I gained weight and ended up being heavier than I was before. And then after Shane and I had COVID, I really got in this mindset of like, I have to be healthy and get in shape. And I was just a beast after I recovered from COVID and lost weight again and worked out and ate healthy. And so here we are. It's been a journey, up and down, but we're going to stay down because this is like how I feel comfortable.
Well,
You had said that you lost 30 pounds. How much have you lost now? Like, where are you at?
I don't know. I mean, I know I've lost weight because my clothes fit. I look differently. But the only thing I really try to keep track of is body fat percentage, because to me that means more. I always weigh a lot. I'm 5'9". I'm curvy. I'm big boned. Like I always weigh a lot. So I like to go by body fat percentage. And I think I've lost like 11% body fat percentage, which makes a huge difference. So that's why people are like, oh, you got surgery on your face. I'm like, no, I didn't. I just lost. I don't look like a Cabbage Patch Kid anymore. Like I lost a little. That's all.
I love it, and I love how open you are with fans about it because, I mean, it's inspirational. Like, you're killing it, and I think you look great.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. And, I am really honest about it, and even when it's hard to be honest about it, and when I watch scenes where I weighed a lot more, I just kind of like, I'm like, ugh. But, every time I watch a scene and I was a lot heavier, I still was like, damn, I mean, girlfriend has her makeup done, her hair looks good, she's all dressed nice, so whatever.
I love it. I think Emily, we need both Emilys. I'm like, there's two Emilys this week. We need a cheers to that. Let's cheers to
cheers.
Looking great and
cheers to that.
We've got to break down some of the big moments happening in the OC right now. So one of the biggest moments from this episode this week was Elizabeth's cult revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
was a lot. Were you shocked? I mean, it's very upsetting to hear about and also shocking.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't shocked when she told me, because I had heard a little bit about it from Gina, you know, just because we talk so much. She had given me a little bit of information about like what happened on the girls' trip. I didn't know details. So when I went and I met with Elizabeth and she gave me details, it was very shocking to hear these things but I'll tell you, it was shocking. But I also feel like it helped me understand her better and understand maybe why it was so difficult for me to get to know her or know basic information about her, or why she was kind of like why she has a hard time, you know, conveying just like basic information about herself, about Jimmy or the relationship or her divorce. And I was questioning that a lot because I do that. And then it kind of like a light bulb went off where I thought, you know, now I kind of understand her as a woman, as a human better, where all this childhood trauma that she had has conditioned her now as an adult to be secretive and to maybe not be forthcoming and to maybe say things that contradict each other. And I get it now. Like, I get it.
Is it easier for you now to have a relationship with Elizabeth? Because I know, like you said, it was hard. There were these secrets and things were just not adding up. But now that she put this on the table, are you like, okay, I could see having a friendship with her?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like Elizabeth. I really do. I actually talked to her a couple days ago for a long time. And I told her I was proud of her because I know that she's going to therapy now. And I feel like she's a good person and she has a good heart and a good soul. And it might have gotten clouded by the fact that she wasn't really adding up and things weren't making sense. I can't even imagine what it was like for her as a child, and then to not have dealt with it as an adult, and then, you know, and then being in a relationship with someone who's a lot older, who's controlling. I mean, it was just like she goes from one controlling environment to another. So I'm glad Elizabeth has broken free from the ex-husband and the cult, and now she can be herself. So go Elizabeth.
Go Elizabeth. And now she can also start having sex again.
Right, exactly. So with men, women, whatever.
Because is she still with Jimmy? Because I know, like, during last night's episode, you asked her if she was now having sex with Jimmy now that her divorce is finalized. So do you know any updates on that?
You know, I don't know, because I do keep in touch with Elizabeth, and I do know that they had some ups and downs and they weren't together and then they got back together. And then I do know at the reunion, he came to the reunion not to film, but just to pick her up. So I don't know if they're an item or if they're just two people that really care about each other. And so they'll always kind of have a connection.
We also want to take it back a little bit and talk about a really traumatic thing that happened in your home this season. Shane got COVID-19 along with yourself, and your family had to go through this. What was it like when Shane was in the hospital for 8 days?
Those 8 days were probably the hardest 8 days as a wife, as a mother, as a woman that I've ever had to deal with. It was physically difficult for me because I had COVID, so I had no energy at all. I mean, my symptoms were nowhere near Shane's, but I had no energy. I had muscle aches, I had headaches. So trying to just navigate through the day, taking care of 3 kids was so hard for me physically. But then the mental drain of not knowing how he was doing, not having contact unless he texted me, not being able to like get through, not hearing anything from the hospital, him texting me basically telling me that he can't breathe and he thinks he's going to die. You know, and he also reached out to he has a 19-year-old daughter named Shelby who's on a mission with the LDS church, and he texted her and basically said like goodbye to her and told her to like go on with her life, to finish her mission. And I'm getting emotional. So this is what I was dealing with. I was dealing with trying to take care of my kids, but I was also dealing with a husband who was in a mindset that he wasn't going to make it. And he was like reaching out to my sister, telling my sister to make sure that she takes care of me and helps me. And he was worried about all these people in his life. And so it was just wow, it was just such a trying time. I mean, I didn't know if he was going to come home or not. And so I had to deal with the reality of, am I going to be a single parent? Am I going to have to navigate this by myself? Am I going to have to take care of these children? Am I going to have to explain to them that their dad's not coming home from the hospital? These were all things that I had to deal with daily. And it was so hard. It really was.
I do want to know, I mean, you went through this traumatic experience. You said there were points where you didn't know if Shane was going to come home. So for your marriage, for your relationship, how has that affected things?
I think if I learned anything from it, I took positive away from it, because I really learned that I didn't want to live life without him, that like he really is, now I get emotional again, damn it. He really is like my rock. And I know he can be like a sarcastic rock, and he can kind of be like a dick rock. But he really, at the end of the day, like he always has my best interest at heart. He's an amazing dad. He's, the provider of our family. And so I don't want to lose that. And I really just came out of it appreciating him and our relationship. And I think both of us kind of came out of it thinking, like, who wants to fight about petty things like towels on the floor, or you didn't do this, or you didn't pick up the dry cleaning, or
Right.
It became like, I feel like we get along so much better because we let the petty bullshit go. Because I mean, I really got to the point where I didn't know if I was going to see him again. So I don't give a crap if he leaves his towels on the floor. He's been doing it for 13 years. So I just let it go.
Well, speaking of relationships, I mean, we could talk about this whole time, because I'm just so happy to hear that you guys are doing good, and especially now with Shane.
And through it.
and
Thank
you got
God.
through it. Thank God. But speaking of relationships, last night we also saw things kind of go down between Shannon and her boyfriend, John. Things were said, and like a lot of the women were kind of questioning their relationship and where they stood, and if they were good for each other. So I want to know your opinion on the two of them. What do you think? Like, are they good for each other? I don't know.
I would have said maybe like 6 months ago, maybe I would have said no, but since, I've been around John since then, and I've gotten to know him more since then. And you know what? I do think they're good for each other. I think they're just a typical normal couple that's dealing with a lot of crap going on right now. And they have, they're a blended family, and that's difficult. When I married Shane, he had 2 daughters. He has an ex-wife, and that's not easy to take on. And so, you have 2 adults coming together that have adult children, and then Shannon has girls, teenagers. We're going through COVID quarantine. You're living together. You got people going in and out of the house. Shannon's concerned about her health. I mean, of course they have issues. And I think Shannon has a tendency to open up, but only really discuss things that are probably bad in their relationship. And you know how we are as women. We reach out to our friends and say, oh my God, he did this, he did that. He makes me feel like that. I'm so upset. I'm so mad. But you don't really pick up the phone and say, oh my God, he was so nice to me today. I mean, we don't do that. And so I think that's the problem, is that we were hearing things that were just the downs in the relationship, where really I think they're like normal people and they have ups and downs. So, and they're still together. So, I think, yeah,
they're still together.
That's great.
She took the girls to Mexico, and I didn't see any photos of John. And then I saw last night's episode, and I'm like, oh, are they together? But
I mean, as far as I know, they are.
Okay, let's move on to our favorite segment and why we need our drink, which is Sip or Spill. And we are going to ask you some burning questions. If you don't want to spill, you gotta take a sip. All right?
Okay.
Don't sip. Just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. First question is, so Tamra came on our show and she said, you shouldn't be on next season. And she cannot believe that you lasted this long. Should Tamra come back to the show?
No.
Figured you might say that.
Yeah, you wouldn't sip on that and you would just spill. Okay, so
Yeah.
tell us, why should she not come back? Because we talked to her and I think she's like really wanting to come back.
You think? Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Okay, so
What is your reaction to what she said?
I think that maybe that like someone should send a wellness check to her house. I don't know. I mean, I don't think she's okay. So, but
A lot is happening in Braunwyn's world with sexuality, marriage, alcohol. I mean, she's a lot. The question really is, Braunwyn recently said it would break her heart if her husband Sean started dating someone else. Is it fair of her to say she doesn't want him to date?
no, I mean, absolutely not. It's like that. It's the typical thing of having your cake and eating it too. I mean, she wants to have her girlfriend come over, go on dates with her girlfriend, you know, have paparazzi photos taken of her girlfriend, which I will tell you, I live in Orange County. There are not paparazzi on the beaches in Orange County. So, and then to tell Sean or to be upset if he does. I mean, really, she wants Sean to pay the bills and to keep her lifestyle the same. I mean, let's be honest. That's why you don't want to get divorced. That's why you don't want to move forward. And if you got divorced, you'd have to take care of your kids 50% of the time. And she doesn't want to do that either. So of course she wants to stay. I mean, I would want to be married to Sean. He could pay time and I'll just fly all over, hang out with all the other housewives and not have any responsibility. It sounds like a plan to me. So, but unfortunately my husband would tell me to hit the road if I wanted to do that. So she's very lucky she's married to a Sean, because I don't think there's another man on the planet that would put up with that for 1 second.
He seems like a saint, Sean. Like such a nice man.
Or he's suffering from Stockholm syndrome or that.
I was gonna say, yes, he seems like a saint, but I'm like, your head is in the sand, dude. Like, can someone just like, and I don't know if she will. Do you think if Sean is like, you know, Braunwyn, it's either me and just solely me, or it's women and other, you know, this whole new lifestyle you're doing, what do you think she would pick?
I think if he gave her an ultimatum, she would pick Sean, because I don't think she wants to give up her lifestyle. I don't think she wants to figure out how to pay bills or rent on her own or do laundry or watch her kids or have to navigate life without him doing it for her. I mean, right. She'd have to like get her own cell phone plan. Like, I think that would push her over the edge.
So Elizabeth posted on Instagram this week calling Braunwyn hypocritical and extremely narcissistic. Is Braunwyn hypocritical and extremely narcissistic?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, Braunwyn's hypocrisy is it's mind-boggling to me. I mean, I could write an entire paper on it, but yeah, and I mean, and the narcissism and the self-absorbed, and I mean, the ego. I mean, it's just unreal to me. But yeah, I mean, even at the reunion, we talk about this a little bit. So it's
okay.
It's interesting. You'll have to see the reunion too, because a lot of this comes up as well.
Okay.
I can't wait for that. Now, okay, last question. It's a sip or spill. Will Shane? This is like a two-part. Has Shane, your husband, passed the bar? I know that was a big storyline last season, and then we've just never really heard about it. Has he passed, or if not yet, do you think he will pass in the future?
He has not passed the bar in California as of right now. He is licensed in Utah. I don't know if he plans to take it again. He's talked about it, but because it's virtual, he didn't want to do it in July. I don't blame him. I can't even imagine what that would be like. It's offered again in February. I don't know if he would take it. I actually hope he doesn't, because I don't think I can go through that again. I don't really want to go there, but ultimately, I mean, it's up to him. So we'll see. But as of right now, he has not passed California, and he doesn't have like a solid plan going forward to take it again. So that's where we are.
That is all we have for you guys tonight. Don't forget that we are here weekly to break down all these Housewives episodes. Shannon will be on next week. And comment below if you have any thoughts on Real Housewives of OC, because we want to know what you guys think.